back to Rivals of the East. I'm your host, Buzz, with co-host Sean. And week 4 didn't go very good, Sean. I don't know what else to say, dude. It was horrible. Uh, our predictions were definitely wrong for the Bills Dolphins and way off for the Patriots and the Cowboys game. And before we get to that, I just want to say I have a new name for the Patriots. Can you guess what it is?
What's that?
The Chafe-triots. You know why I call them the Chafe-triots?
Why is that?
Because they keep getting their cheeks clapped so bad by every team they play, not named the Jets, that they're just chafed at this point.
How creative.
Thought you might like that.
Yeah.
Regardless, uh, dude, we've got week 5 coming up, and we'll talk a little bit about that here shortly, but let's talk about the elephant in the room here. All right. We're going to get to and spend a little bit of time on Miami and how they were just completely, utterly, how should I say this? Josh Allen is 11-1 now against the Dolphins. Let that sink in. So basically we got owned by the Bills yet again. Dude, the Patriots last episode, we were on here saying this could be it. You were talking to me saying, the Patriots can get past the Cowboys. We might be able to get on a good run here and maybe win a few games, and we're back in it. What happened, dude?
The one key that I was assuming was going to be the reason why they were going to take advantage of a mediocre coach such as Mike McCarthy went the other way around.
Hold on. Mediocre coach. Let me say this. Mike McCarthy is a Super Bowl winning head coach. Mike McCarthy ended Tom Brady's career. Mike McCarthy handed Bill Belichick the worst loss as a head coach that he's ever had in a points differential. I think just maybe you might just be underselling Mike McCarthy a little bit, don't you think, Sean?
No. He's been pretty dreadful with an excellent team for the past 3 years, and also the entire team that he's had with the Packers his entire career. So I think just because you go to one Super Bowl and your talent wins doesn't make you a good head coach. And in fact, he wasn't the GM when he was in Green Bay either. So he's got that playing for him. So even if he is a terrible coach, at least his GM's getting him the talent he needs, something that I could say very less about Bill Belichick. So there is a difference there.
How dare you say something
I
bad
also
about
wouldn't
him?
say so if Mike McDaniel is the one coaching an offense that hangs 70 points. It's the success is on Greer as well, right?
Hey, all I want to say is that that was a fun game and all, and I'm going to say that week 4 never happened. We'll just go with that. We're just going to say week 4 didn't happen, Sean.
I'm just saying your logic goes both ways and doesn't make sense.
I'm just saying that
You're
I mean
just wrong.
Mike McCarthy, he's kind of like the Bernard Poller of the head coaches here,
Yeah,
taking
so
out Patriots.
he blows out kneecaps and then goes nowhere with himself.
I mean, we can't all be Hall of Famers, but we can be Hall of Good, right? Or Hall of I can't think
Well,
anything.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
there is such thing as a Hall of Good. It is called the Hall of Fame in the NFL.
Well, Hall of Injuries, I
A
guess.
certain Bradshaw, I think, is a good example of that.
Terry Bradshaw.
Just because you win Super Bowls doesn't mean you're a good quarterback.
He was his own offensive coordinator, He called the plays on the field.
So was Peyton Manning. I wouldn't say he's the reason why they won their last one.
I'm just saying Peyton Manning did win the Super Bowls too.
Super Bowls?
Yeah. Peyton Manning's got 2 Super Bowls, Sean.
Yeah, 2 more in the Dolphins.
With 2 different teams.
2 more in the Dolphins have won in
Listen,
the 50 years.
You keep trying to dunk on my team. Let's talk about the basement dwellers of the
6 Super Bowl rings. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's turn into Cowboys fans and talk about, instead of changing the light bulb, how good the old one used to be.
I'm still waiting for you guys to win a playoff game, so
it's coming. You keep doubting. It's coming. We're sitting at 3-1.
You're the one doubting them, not me.
I listen. I may have had a
Oh,
little
here
doubt
we go.
about the Bills game, but you know what? We're coming. Let me say this. I think week 5 is the definition of I just got out of a long-term relationship and I need something fun because we're playing the Giants, which I'm going to talk about the Giants and what to expect from that game. But this week 4 matchup with the Patriots and the Cowboys obviously it was no good. Dallas just came in and destroyed the Patriots. 38-3 is the final score. Um, Stevenson's not running the ball. He had 14 carries, 30 yards. Mack finished 12 of 21 for a buck 50, 2 picks, including one of those a pick 6. Dak Prescott looked like a good quarterback. Hunter Henry played his heart out. He made some great catches, 4 for 51. But I mean, when you give up 28 points in the first half, I'm just saying.
All right,
Not
so
much
you
you could
ready for
really
me
do.
to you ready for me to actually say it? So the quarterback that is supposed to not possess elite arm strength, athleticism, is supposed to be a good decision maker, a quick thinker, and understander of offense and philosophy, made inaccurate throws, terrible decisions, and looked rattled and confused most of the plays when there wasn't even pressure existing. In fact, some of the worst plays he made with Micah Parsons not even on the field. They're without their best corner, arguably, debatably, because Stephon Gilmore is out there still. The game plan was to be prepared for them to run the ball. Well, so they just watched your team play the Jets and not let the Jets run the ball. So they're going to sit there and go, yeah, we're going to beat our head into the wall against Bill Belichick. No, we're going to spread them out and throw it, which I said, if there's a way that the Cowboys are going to win it, they're going to choose not to beat themselves. They're going to throw the ball. And guess what? They threw the ball. I don't care about, you know, Gonzo going out, being out for the rest of the year. He has a separated shoulder and a torn labrum. I don't care about Matthew Judon having a bicep tear. They played like crap when those players were on the field. This includes defense. This includes offense. It was awful. The game plan was bad. There was no adjustments. Um, Apparently one of the best coaches, probably not one of the greatest GMs, Bill Belichick, was outcoached, out schemed, and it was just utterly embarrassing. They put in Zappy. Zappy didn't do much either. Didn't get past the 50-yard line. So, yeah, it was just thoroughly ineffective. And the Patriots lost 2 of their best playmakers on the field. Unfortunately, it's only defense, and they don't have playmakers on offense. So there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of problems. You're staring down the barrel of another team that looks just as thoroughly as incompetent as you, being the New Orleans Saints coming up. And guess what? The Patriots are no longer a team that you could sit there and go, makes bad teams look bad and struggles against good teams. It's a coin flip with the bad teams. So
I think
that's
Bill's
where the
face
Patriots are
here.
at.
I think Bill's face here sums it up. Does that look familiar, Sean?
Yeah, that looks familiar. Unfortunately, after the first quarter, I kind of checked out. So I had a feeling something was coming. Um, where do we
Listen,
go from here is the question, I think.
now I'm glad you bring that up because I sent you an article earlier today that just came out from the Ringer, and the title of it is actually called "The Patriots Have Hit Rock Bottom and There's No Easy Way Back Up." And basically, the whole article that was written by Nora Princiati, I believe that's how it's pronounced, just goes into detail about there's a lack of weapons that has been placed around Mac Jones, as opposed to you have Joe Burrow. He's got arguably the best wide receiving core in the NFL. Tua, they gave Waddle and Tyreek Hill. These other quarterbacks, they're trying to surround them. Like right now, the Panthers are seeking a true number one wide receiver, and they're willing to give up a lot for it because they believe in Bryce Young. So much so they're willing to surround him with weapons. So that rookie contract, as you know and I know, It's a really big thing to build a team around a rookie quarterback who's going to start picking it up because you got that window. Why? You've got what, 1 year left on max deal? Two questions I have. Why have they not loaded up on talent around Mac Jones? And who is the actual person to take the blame for this Patriots team?
So the first question is about the rebuilding process.
Supporting cast.
The supporting cast, so Bill Belichick's philosophy has and always has been outside of 2007 has been have a large amount of middle class talent, not elite talent, not bad talent, middle class talent. If everyone is just okay, we have depth, we can make it through the injuries. That worked when teams ran the ball and they played ball control. Doesn't happen anymore. Teams go out there, they put out points. Doesn't matter how good your defense is, they're going to put a semblance of points. 21 to 24 points can be scored even on the best defenses in the league. And that is considered a good job on most teams' defenses. And honestly, the times have passed by Bill. It's his scheme, it's his drafting philosophy, it's just how he thinks games are won by good defense, special teams, not turning over the ball. Unfortunately, he kind of fights himself with some of his comments. For instance, just recently as the Jets game, he made a comment that yes, it was really good that we had a turnover-free game, but we're not going to win a whole lot of games scoring 15 points. I would agree. However, his actions and decisions fly in the face of that.
I mean, they score, if 15 would win you more games than 3, I'm just saying.
Having a blown out knee, Juju Smith-Schuster, expecting Hunter Henry, closer to the end than the beginning of his career to produce more. Trading Mac Jones, favorite binky, wide receiver, and the healthiest piece he actually had on your offensive receiving list to the Raiders. Probably not a great idea. Not addressing your tackle position on the right side and throwing 3 guards at the offensive line, hoping one will work, or drafting a guard, probably in the first round of a draft pick, Cole Strange, probably not the move. Probably not the move to make. Christian Gonzalez, it's there's nothing not to like about the guy. Patriots need a receiver. They need a tackle second and probably a quarterback. So,
oh, you're giving up on Mac?
The blame falls on Bill Belichick and solely on Bill Belichick.
So that kind of answers the second question then. So if you're Robert Kraft, all right, obviously not in a massage parlor, but if you're Robert Kraft in the skybox, you're watching this dumpster fire, you'd probably be better off watching a dog take a dump on your lawn than watch that team. You got to be thinking like, okay, his son is getting more involved in everything. Is it Jonathan Kraft? Is his son?
Yes, his son
Okay.
is involved, and
He likes Mac Jones, by the way. He's big advocate of Mac Jones, I guess. So the question is, who's going to go first? Is Bill Belichick going to go first, or is Mac Jones going to go first?
Mac Jones will go first.
You think they're going to keep Bill over Mac Jones, huh?
Yeah, and I think that's for a few reasons. It's really hard to sit there and make the argument that the person that you've achieved the most success with, are you going to be the reason why a Hall of Fame coach walks? Or is he going to have the respect and kind of have that decision to make for himself? I think Tom Brady mutually wanted to leave. Robert Kraft, I think, was the only one that truly wanted him to stay. I think Bill Belichick was like, yeah, I think it's time to move on. And I think Brady felt the same way. And I think that's why he left, not because Robert Kraft wanted him to leave. And I think that's kind of how it's going to be treated with Bill is he will be kind of pushed in that direction. Perhaps maybe it'll be on the table of him losing the personnel, the GM function of drafting and selecting free agency talents. I think that's probably, but here's the thing that goes hand in hand with his coaching. He makes both decisions because he's setting up Bill the coach to do his job by making the player personnel selections, which is also the reason why we're in this situation is you're paying the money for special team players that can only play special teams. You're paying money for yes man kind of defensive players and captains that do anything they'll be told. They're, great leaders, great communicators, not elite talent.
Well,
I think he'd rather coach players that listen to him and kind of like him than players that are just good at doing their job.
well, it just recently you mentioned that Gonzalez being out for the year, Judon being out for the year. They just actually brought your boy J.C. Jackson back from the Chargers. How about that? Where they swapped some late round picks, 6th and the 7th pick. J.C. Jackson's coming back to the Patriots. Obviously, he did well in that system with Bill. So, I mean, I know that Judon is a big loss, but you kind of replace some defensive backs there. Do you think that, do you feel the season is lost? If you eliminate the turnovers, right? Because here's where I'm looking at it, just from the outside in. Now, don't get me wrong. I welcome to suffering, Sean. So I'm enjoying watching the Patriots squander, but it does raise some questions because how can you be worse offensively with Bill O'Brien than when you had Matt Patricia? That just it's astounding to me. And what do you attribute that to? Is it the personnel? Is it Bill O'Brien? Is it Bill Belichick? Is it Mac Jones? How do you bring in a guy who's a legitimate offensive coordinator that has had success offensively where he's been, averaging now, after this game, under 17 points a game?
Easy. It's easier to have a team run an offense that is very basic. No decision making really is involved there. Like there's no wide receiver options. There's none of these complicated routes that Bill O'Brien likes to use, blocking schemes, running fundamentals, not playing under center. All those things were completely taken out last year with Matt Patricia, and the Patriots ran the ball effectively. That's why it worked. It's easy to play games and score points when we just need you to run the ball and not turn over the ball. And at least when you're on that side of the field, you're kicking field goals and your kicker is able to make them, not the rookie kicker with the snap of the special teams being Joe Judge being your special teams coordinator, not apparently able to coach a long snapper how to snap the ball to your rookie kicker, which has been an issue. He's missed multiple kicks. Some would argue the Patriots may have won some of those games if they actually made those field goals. Not that it makes any difference because they're a crappy team. They can't move the. In fact, here's what I'll argue. Even if the Patriots didn't turn over the ball, they didn't move. They didn't get to that side of the field. They weren't even in a chance where they could score in 2 of the 4 games. Eagles, yeah, they came out, they showed a few things, they did a few things. They were able to move the chains in long ball situations. When it mattered, they failed. And against the Jets, you were able to run the ball. That's about it. That's about it. So,
Well, listen, all I know is, if New England wants to make any difference to the season, again, we're 4 games in, right?
yeah,
There's a lot of football still to play. Things can shake out vastly different. You got to start eliminating the turnovers, and I think you guys would have to figure out some way to run the ball effectively. That's the starting
yeah,
point.
it's so for things to look forward to if you're a Patriots fan or if the Patriots just, make anything of this season. If you're going to lose games, I would say let it be because you cannot play defense because you're missing 3 of your starting corners and one of your, best pass rushers on your team. That's fair. I think most defenses you could sit there and go, yeah, that's understandable if they're no longer good. We haven't had Jack Jones since his whole debacle with bringing a gun into the airport. You lost Marcus Jones, who's actually your returner, your best returner, probably one of your best playmakers on special teams. And he was also a depth corner, gone for the year, torn labrum. Christian Gonzalez, rookie, that was the starting corner that was a lock-in to be starting corner. Looked like he was going to have a really promising season. He's out. And then Jonathan Jones, who's been gone for, 3 weeks now. Probably not going to return. So what you do in that situation is you go, all right, defense, it is what it is. We have JC Jackson. That's great. I'm sure Bill will make something of it. Guess what? He's also injured. He's still not 100%, and he was on record for week 3 when he was with the Chargers. He was a healthy scratch. He was not healthy, according to him and his doctors. So that's an issue. But at least when the time does come, let's say you get Jonathan Jones, JC Jackson back, at least you have a semblance. It's not Miles Bryant going against someone's number one, because that would be a nightmare. You're going to give up 38 points, no problem. So offensively, that's the only thing we can hang ourselves on, is going, at least if they show a semblance of being able to move the ball, convert some third down situations. And I'm not even saying scoring a bunch of points, but at least if they can show me they can move to that side of the field, get to the red zone, and at least kick a field goal, that'd be more than what I've seen this season. Some consistency, some continuity with the receivers. Juju maybe not having 10 targets and 4 catches. Maybe Kevin Bourne not completely disappearing for, 3/4 of a game. Maybe Gesicki could have more than 1 catch for 16 yards in a game, or Ramondre Stevenson cannot have 10 carries for 28 yards. So those are kind of some of the things I'm looking at. Mac Jones had an uncharacteristic game. He typically does not throw behind the body of a receiver in a stick route behind the line straight to a safety that runs it all the way back. Like that, he doesn't do that. Okay. He misses some throws that he's trying to make that he typically can't make, but it's not because he's given the ball to the other team. So that's uncharacteristic. I don't think that's who he is, and I don't think that's probably going to happen next week. I just want to see them convert. That's all I want them, like, at least 38% convert, please.
Well, I know Mark couldn't be here. He'll join us on the week 5 recap, but leading us into week 5 here for the Patriots. Patriots taking on the Saints, who came off a really abysmal game, a loss to the Bucks pretty handedly there. I think it was 26-9. Carr got hurt, was taken out. Winston comes in, first throw pick. Taysom Hill goes 1 for 1 for 13 yards, and then they have Kamara run the ball 11 times. They couldn't get anything going. How do you see this game? It's gonna be a dogfight, I think. But how do you see this going?
It's going to be hideous. The one thing I'll actually say is they do pose a issue for the Patriots defense now. It's actually Alvin Kamara. That's really what it is. So if you look at it, I don't know if you know, he broke a record.
Did he?
In the NFL for the most receptions by a player with that little yards per average.
What?
Yes, that is correct.
I did not know that. What was it?
All right, so Alvin Kamara, let's see where he is.
All right, because I had no idea.
Yeah. Kamara had 13 catches for 33 yards.
Whoa. What was the average?
2.5.
13 catches?
Yeah, that's never happened before in the NFL. and he had 11 carries for 51 yards. So at least he did that. But this is an abysmal offense. Much like the Patriots,
The
don't
Saints
really
suck.
don't really do anything. Don't score points. They play good defense.
That they do. I watched them pick off Ryan Tannehill 3 times in week 1 because that's the only
So
game I had.
that could pose an issue for the Patriots. And actually, I'd be pretty satisfied if I saw the Patriots offense maybe score a touchdown or two against them. I'd be pretty happy with that because that would show me that that's major progress. Um, Defensively, Kamara's going to pose threats. Taysom Hill could. Um, I don't really see, Michael Thomas like going haywire on them. He's gonna get his catches. They're gonna feed him a lot of underthrows, a lot of drag routes, things like that. So
Right.
chances are they'll probably start Jameis Winston, and they could pose a threat to the Patriots. They could pose a problem.
We'll get to picking who we think's going to win that one when we go over our spreads here. But so that's the Patriots news. In other news, Dolphins played the Bills in a big AFC East game, which was going to be for the lead in the division, at least a solid one for us. And I thought we watched the Bills who lost to the Jets week 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we see the Bills playing against the Commanders. Commanders, it's kind of hard to judge them right now. They push the Eagles to the limit. Who hasn't? But it's kind of like you don't know what you got with the Commanders because sometimes they'll play really well, sometimes they'll play like crap. So it's kind of like, yeah, don't want to give too much credit. And the Raiders, Jimmy Garoppolo. But man, Sean, I watched this game from start to finish, unfortunately. And did you watch any of this game?
No, I did not.
Okay. So here's the lowdown on what happened, basically. The Bills came out in this game to make a statement. Plain and simple. They were prepared, they executed, and I'll tell you exactly how and why. So the game starts off, Bills march down the field, get a touchdown to start off. Miami comes back, answers. Bills score again. Miami answers. You're like, this is going to be a shootout, like we talked about. Like, oh, okay, so it's going to be pretty high scoring here. And then the wheels started coming off for Miami. The Bills go up 21-14. The Bills go up 28-14. The Bills are up 31-14. And Miami is just Tyreek Hill. Let me go over these stat lines here so you can get an idea. Tyreek Hill had 3 catches for 58 yards. Jalen Waddle had 4 catches for 46 yards. Say that one more time. Tyreek Hill had 3 catches for 58 yards. Jalen Waddle, 4 catches for 46 yards, which, by the way, one of those was off a tip ball from a defender that Tua threw right into double coverage. Now, here's the story of the game. The defense for the Bills was getting pressure at 36% of snaps in the game with 4 rushers. Tua, up until this point, has only ever faced his highest total for the season cumulative, 20%. So Tua got pressure. What happens to Tua when he gets pressure on him? There's nothing you can do. What they were doing, Sean, is that they were playing man coverage, or they were playing zone. Then they switched to playing man coverage. You had Jordan Poyer was out, but Micah Hyde was there, who also got a pick from Tua, just sailing the ball way overhead, trying to hit Braxton Berrios, I think it was. And there's Micah Hyde, boop, interception. They were giving up runs here and there, but Mostert fumbled twice this game. One of those led to a turnover and points. Vic Fangio put Kader Kohu one-on-one with Stephon Diggs. Kader Kohu. Diggs went off 6 catches, 120 yards, 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns, 120 yards. No X, no help. They just put Kohu on an island with Diggs. That was Vic Fangio's brilliant plan. We couldn't get anything going because what the Bills were doing is they were getting pressure with 4, and they were expanding their zones back and bracketing Hill and Waddle. And before Tua could even read to the flat, here's where my problem is with Tua, as I've always said about him. He picks a side of the field, and that's it. There were opportunities a couple of times where on the other side of the field, the right-hand side, he could have hit like Barrios for about 10 yards out there, and he could have picked up another 10 after catch, so a 20-yard play, and he's just staring down Tyreek Hill. I mean, obvious that they're playing cover 2, and he could have checked out of it, and he just looking right at Tyreek Hill. Like, he doesn't, 80% of his snaps is first read. That's it. It's going. Doesn't matter. So he can't go through progressions. They force him to go through progressions, which, remember when the Patriots played the Eagles, Jalen Hurts had to go through progressions, right?
Yep.
It's a problem that good defenses pose for Mike McDaniel's offense. That's the major flaw. They didn't bite on any of those Tyreek Hill motions. They already knew. They blitzed occasionally. We were 0 for 3 on fourth downs, 3 for 10 on third down. So 0 for 3 on fourth down. One of those plays was 4th and 1, and McDaniel goes to shotgun to throw the damn ball. Devin Achane had already been averaging at least 9 or 10 yards a rush. So what do? Throw the ball. Then they try to go for 2 points after they come out in the start of the second half. It was 31-14. They march down the field. They get it going. It's 31-20. Then Mike McDaniel goes for 2. They don't get it. Why? Stupid stuff. Like, this is my problem with Mike McDaniel. He gets too cute because he plays the analytics kind of game. Like, dude, just kick the field goal. If you don't trust your defense and you're saying we need to get all the points we can get, like, it's over. Once the Bills go up by 2 scores, it's over. You ain't going to catch up. Especially when Tua's being pressured. He was sacked 4 times. He was hit 9 times. He was facing pressure all the time. I mean, whatever. It was not a good game. Dolphins sucked. Vic Fangio's defense sucked. Christian Wilkins was terrible. Devin Achane, amazing, amazing player. Van Ginkel showed up. Those are the only 2. Everybody else now. Bradley Chubb, by the way, let me tell you, Bradley Chubb is one of the worst trades we could have ever done. And I said it, I swear to God. You remember, Sean, as soon as Chris Greer made the call and we traded a first-round pick for him, I said it was going to be a terrible move.
Yeah, I know. I texted you when I was in the middle of watching a game at Walk-Ons.
And I'm like, why is this happening to us? He is a biggest waste of money and draft capital. A first-round pick for that piece of garbage. Anyways, Jason Pierre-Paul could do more with one hand than Bradley Chubb can with 2. All right, for a fraction of the price. I digress. Miami lost, by the way, 48-20. They took Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle out of the fourth quarter with 8 minutes to go, but kept Tua in to stat pad him so he could keep his yards up. Let's call it what it is. Tua shouldn't have been in that game. Put Mike White in. The game's
Especially
over.
the injury.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel, I think, secretly hates Tua and he just hopes that he dies on the field, quite frankly. Why else would you keep a guy who's got concussion history? And let's face facts, Tua looked like a scared little kid out there half the time. Like, he was one hit, he's going to die from this team. Greg Ruzzo was in his face all game. I mean, he got hit and pummeled. Like, take him out of the game. You don't want to risk injury. So Miami sucked. 48-20. Bad game. Now, week 5, we get to play the ultimate rebound game, Sean. We get to play the prestigious New York Football Giants, headed by Daniel Jones, who was sacked.
Yes.
How many times?
11.
11 times. Brian Dable and Daniel Jones throwing tablets at each other like Gambit and the X-Men with cards. Just like that. There's a little reference for you. Yeah, so the Giants suck. Miami's going to crush them, I think, in week 5. And thank God we have a couple rebound games. We play the Giants, then the Panthers. Yeah, So should be wins, should be easy wins. Our defense should look great. And people will buy in and say, wow, the Dolphins are a really great football team. No, we're not. We can beat really bad teams. Congratulations. What happens when you play a playoff team like the Bills? That's what happens. Mike McDaniel just doesn't know what to do, starts thinking about what kind of flavor vape he wants, I guess. I don't know. Just depends, right? Vic Fangio, every time they show him in the booth, he looks like he's confused, like he doesn't know what he wants to eat or where he is. I don't know if he's eating boogers up there or what. Like every time he's just like doing that to his nose, it's like, dude, Vic Fangio, please call plays and stop picking your nose, old man. Please. You know? Eat some capicola or something. All right? Please. Anyways, so let's get to week 5, Sean. We have some spreads wrapping up here, spreads and picks. How did we do for week 4? If you have the tally there, my friend, how are we looking for week 4? How did you do and how did I do? As I'm really
All right.
curious.
So, unfortunately, straight up, like I said, it's pretty easy. 9 for me, 7 for you.
Eh.
This is where the real magic comes in.
Oh boy.
Spreads. We both did 4.
Oh.
So, really bad week for the both of us. Continuing the trend of poor football played last week, our
God, dude.
spreads also took the hit.
Yeah, they did. Why can these teams not? Whatever.
I'm
Let's just
sorry,
move on to week 5.
there were some crappy games that
There
took
really
place
was.
last week.
By the way, can we just already rule the Bengals out as like done for the year? The team
Yeah,
is trash.
it's not a good sign that Chase
Trash.
is already ready to leave.
Oh,
And T.
I
Higgins
forgot to
will
mention. I'm sorry. I totally forgot to mention this. In the Bills game, we had Liam Eichenberg playing center, who was graded as the worst center of all centers who have played this season. And Teron Armstead hurt himself so bad that he was taken to the back and he's seen on crutches. McDaniel said his injury is measured in weeks, not days. And by the way, today he just put his house in Miami up for sale. That's the rumor mill. He put his house listed for sale in Miami.
You know, I know a certain quarterback who also did the same thing. He's retired now.
You think Teron Armstead is going to become a minority owner with the Raiders? Is that what you're saying? So, yeah, there's also that good news, too, that Teron Armstead is hurt. So,
There's a
yeah, he's
better
played one game.
chance. There's a better chance he's not playing with them than he is. That's what I'm saying.
He's played one game and got hurt. Get this man off my team. Week 5 spreads. What we got?
Bears at Commanders. Commanders giving up 6 points.
Commanders both. Bears are trash. The Broncos actually won that game, down 28-7.
Jags at Bills. Bills giving up 5.5.
I'd take Bills split. Jags looked good in that Falcons game, especially when they were all Toy Story.
Yeah, that's about it.
That was interesting.
Panthers at Lions. This is where it gets real interesting. Lions giving up 10.
Lions giving up 10?
Lions
I'm gonna pick Lions
10.
both.
Alrighty. Ravens giving up 4 at Steelers.
By the way, we need to get Pit Rick on this show just so I can ask him if he's going to clean up the diarrhea mess of the Steelers with that terrible towel because that team sucks. I'm going to go Ravens, and I'm going to say Ravens both. I don't even know. Can the Steelers even score points?
I agree with that. No. No, more than my team, that's for sure. Texans
I don't know. They're about equal.
At Falcons giving up 2.
Oh, Texans both. Dude, did you know that CJ Stroud is 4th in the league in passing and he has 0 interceptions, 6 touchdowns. He's averaging 300 yards a game.
It's interesting. He's not winning games though.
What are they, 2-2?
No.
No? What are the Texans?
No. Oh, the Texans. Yeah. No,
Who you think of? Bryce Young? I'm talking
yeah,
CJ
yeah.
Stroud. Yeah,
No, that's
Texans
exactly
are
what I was thinking
2-2.
of.
They're first in the AFC South. So, anyways,
That Nick Casario guy at player personnel sounding kind of good right about now.
it's almost like he says, let's get players with talent. Oh, how about that?
Yeah, weird.
Titans giving up 1.5 at Colts.
Oh,
I think it's an
God.
easy pick. It's an
Colts
easy pick for
both.
me. Yeah.
Richardson he's got that dog in him, dude. Richardson's got that dog in him. Not only
Struggles
when I
thrown, he's
throw
gonna
all
run
over
it.
you in Madden,
Yeah, when he struggles
but
running, he throws it.
listen, he's just tearing you up in Madden, man. It's not as good as Mike McCarthy's special needs son,
Illegitimate son.
illegitimate son, JJ McCarthy. Dude, we gotta get a picture of your
Yes, we
star-studded
gotta get a picture out there. My quarterback that has his helmet in Madden, don't know how Madden does this. The helmet is passed down his eyes. You cannot see what he's doing.
Sean is playing me, and he's got Joshua Dobbs, and he says, I can't do this. Let's put my rookie in because he's already down by like 30 points. And you see this player come in, and his helmet looks like this. If you can see this on the YouTube video, he looks like that. And he's got it looks like his long hair or kind of mullet, but it's his skin. The game is glitching. His skin is coming out the back of his jersey when he walks. And Sean marches down the field with a 66 overall special needs team player. And Sean is in the middle of telling me, I can't even keep a straight face. Don't doubt JJ McCarthy. And I hit him so hard with Vita Vea, the ball comes out, boom, and I run it all the way back for I think it was a 2-point conversion. It just get wailed. I'm like, dude. And then I look on our leaderboard in our franchise mode. I'm like, there's JJ McCarthy, third in passing yards. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I don't even know. We'll get a picture and share it.
So Madden has a quarterback that they created for me. Can't see, helmet's pulled so down past his eyes. His chin strap doesn't even touch his chin. Isn't even near his face. And then I looked at the side where his ear holes were. His ears aren't even near it. Man, you put out, I don't know if I'd say great games. Entertaining product. That's what I'll say. It for certain was entertaining.
Sean, I want to share this photo here. I'm pulling this up, by the way. I want to share this photo of Brockton Smash that you sent me. Sean drafts this player. I don't know what happened. We'll finish your spreads after this. This is the player that he shows me. His name is Brockton Smash, and I don't know what he is.
So just to let you guys know that if you're listening to the podcast and you can't see the image,
this is a player.
YouTube,
give the description.
It's a left end who's 6'9", 328. Okay, he's bald, Caucasian male with black arms. Literally, not tan, black arms. And then when you look in his player profile picture before you actually select on the character, his face is black. So I'm a little confused. Maybe it's a skin disease I'm not familiar with, or if he's
Brockton
the lack of
Smash.
pigmentation. But the name, let alone with he looks like the toy from Toy Story that was forced back together by the kid.
By Sid. Sid's draft class.
That's Carr. That's Carr.
It is true. That's true.
Sid looks just like Carr.
What else we got for spreads to wrap them up?
Alrighty, so Bengals giving up 3 at the Cardinals. I don't know. The Cardinals playing a little good.
I don't care. Cardinals both.
Okay.
Have you seen the Bengals? I haven't all year. I don't know what team that is.
I don't know. I have Jamar Chase. I ain't been seeing him blowing it up.
Matthew Stafford sends his regards to your fantasy football team.
Talk about a quarterback that passes for
2
300
touchdowns
plus every week.
Sean
and still doesn't throw a touchdown.
Dude, he has 1,229 yards 3 touchdowns.
That's my fantasy quarterback. Just to paint a picture for you guys, the fact that I've won 2 weeks with Anthony Richardson 1 week, and then the next week being injured, and I have Gardner Minshew and Matthew Stafford. I was playing against Patrick Mahomes and another good quarterback. I'm confused how I'm winning games. But yeah, that's and then I have, Ramondre Stevenson scoring 4 points, and
God.
then Jamar Chase, who's projected to score 17.8, gets me 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, let that sink in.
Serves you right.
All righty. So Eagles giving up 4.5 at Rams.
I'm gonna say Eagles split.
Yeah, I'd split because
Yeah,
the Rams have
Eagles
been in
split.
close games despite Stafford not throwing. They've been rushing those touchdowns.
Yeah.
All right. Chiefs giving up 4.5 at Vikings.
I'm gonna go Vikings both. I think Vikings win this one.
And here I am sitting here thinking that's gonna be the crazy pick, and we both were gonna pick it.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins is playing actually very well. He's got 11 touchdowns right now.
I don't know if he's got a receiver too.
Yeah.
Unlike the Patriots. Jets at Broncos. Broncos giving up 1.5. I'm going Jets both.
Yeah, Jets both. Why is this a game? Nobody wants to watch this game.
I want to see Zach Wilson disappoint his team one more time.
Against the Broncos, he's going to look like Justin Fields looked like he was Superman.
Hey, this is what the Jets do. They make you think they're going to be good, and then they fall on their face.
Yeah, I saw a meme that it showed Aaron Rodgers on the back of a golf cart being carted around the Jets stadium, and it said Aaron Rodgers' second drive of the season.
Cowboys at 49ers. 49ers 3.5. I am going 49ers both.
Yep, 49ers both. Brock Purdy, man. You disrespect him by saying he's going to not do so well this year. He's playing better than last year.
Surprisingly.
Brock Purdy is him. He is him.
Oh, don't start that nonsense.
He is him.
When you're surrounded by that talent, it's hard to play bad. Packers giving up 1 at Raiders. I'm going Packers both. I do not trust anything the Raiders are selling, and especially if Brian Hoyer is starting.
Yeah, Jimmy G's hurt. I'm going to have to go with the Packers on this one for both as well. If Garoppolo wasn't hurt, maybe it would be competitive or they at least split it, but it's just not.
I don't even know about that anymore.
Jacobs isn't even running. What's with all these running backs that had these Zoom calls or whatever in the offseason? Nobody's doing anything.
Well, most of them are injured, for one.
So they just proved the point.
Exactly. Sorry, Saquon. You ain't him.
Is he back this week?
I'm not sure. Probably not. Yeah. Knowing him, probably not.
Probably not.
Pivotal game in the spotlight against the Dolphins. Yeah, he ain't playing.
Yeah.
Giants at Dolphins. Dolphins giving up 11. I'm taking the Giants both.
What? You think the Giants are going to beat the Dolphins?
I've seen this script before.
I'm not
buying the Dolphins.
I'm going Miami both.
You would.
I have. Dude, you can't look at that Giants team and tell me that they're going to win. There's just no way possible. This is the one. Listen, if there's one game this year where I say I know for a fact Miami is winning that one, it's this game. I'm telling you.
Okay.
They're going to destroy the Giants.
Saints at the Pats. Pats giving up 1. I'm sure actually the spread's going to change.
It has to.
It's going to change, and the Patriots are going to be underdogs at home. Guarantee it.
I'm going to go. The Saints are just not good, man. I know Patriots aren't good either, but you know what? I'm going Saints both. I have to with.
Hey, you're not hearing any arguments from me.
Listen, the reason being is because the Saints defense is more complete right now. They're healthy. The Patriots losing Judon, I think, is too much. J.C. Jackson's great, but that loss of Judon's going to be too much, I think.
So I think this segues perfectly into our score predictions. So let's go ahead and just get the third game out of the way, which is going to be the Patriots and the Saints. Saints are visiting the Patriots. Typically in any situation, I go two bad teams. The team that's home is probably going to prevail. The fog machine's going to come on. The communications for the tablets for the other team are going to cut out.
Typical Bill.
It's going to be a punt fest, and I think Mac Jones will show you that he can throw for 220 yards and sometimes convert, and the rookie kicker finally converts some field goals. The game's going to be 16-13. The Patriots win with a last-second field goal.
I was exactly thinking 16-13, but Saints. But you know what? Since you picked it, I'm going different. You want to know my barn burner of a score? I'm going
3-9.
I'm going Saints 10-9.
Oof. Yeah, that's
10-9 Saints.
happens. All right, gotcha. All right, so Giants in Miami. What do you think, Buzz?
Miami will bounce back and look better than they really are in this game. They don't want to be embarrassed again. A loss to the Giants would probably derail this season. Let's be real. It would. I'm going with Miami, of course. They're going to dominate the Giants. It will be 38-14, Miami.
I'm going to stick with my spread picks and my straight up one. However, I like to piss you off sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Dolphins win 28-17. I don't think it's going to be running away, and I don't know, there's a certain edge defender the Dolphins have. He ain't really good, so I don't think he's really going to take advantage of the matchups. The Giants have also been in communication with Justin Pugh, who was supposed to be retired, and he said he's willing to come back to play with the Giants because, you know, something about them just having that terrible of line talent, that the guard that you selected and put at tackle sounds like almost like Isaiah Wynn. He's terrible, and that's still better than what they have, and maybe that helps them out a little bit. I don't think Daniel Jones is as bad as he's looked.
No, I don't think so.
Really
I don't think he's good, but I don't think
He's
Daniel Jones
gutsy.
is the problem.
He's gutsy. I'll say that.
Yeah.
The guy took a lot of hits. He was rolling out, trying to buy time, trying to make a play. I saw receivers running into each other.
Dude, I watched a play
and blocking their own receiver.
I watched the play. As
receiving.
soon as he hiked the ball, he was pressured. I mean, what are you going to do? So I give Daniel Jones a little more credit because when he did have time last year, he looked a lot better. Personally.
Usually it helps when you run the ball and you're running backs. You know,
he'll throw 2 picks
in
this
the game.
game.
Wow.
And I actually think Tua will throw a pick this game as well. He's good for it. He usually throws a pick a game.
All right, and I think that's what we got for you guys this week. Exciting games. You know,
they are
the
exciting
Giants are
games.
Excellent opponent.
We'll give you some profile shots of J.J. McCarthy so you can see the special needs player, son of Mike McCarthy in Madden, and Sean's franchise quarterback probably. Maybe we'll see, but
for the near future.
Exactly. We'll be back next week with a wrap-up on Week 5 action as well. Give us a like and subscribe on YouTube or wherever podcasts are available as well. So other than that, you all take care. We'll catch you next week.